off the Pirates pitcher.
Well, aren't you full of good wishes tonight?
I just thought you might have something to add to that. Like, yes, but I was waiting for you, Drew, with the good news.
Garrett Cole has never pitched at Coors Field.
Well,
you're
there
right.
you go.
And sometimes when you're ready to break out, it comes against an unlikely source. You buying in?
Yeah, I am. And he's 0-1 with a 5 ERA in his one start against the Rockies. So, yeah, I'm buying it. You know what? You think back to Saturday, they only scored 1 run. Sunday, 10 runs. Last night, 1 run. They're just missing that one clutch hit in those 2 losses. I know they lost 3 in a row, but I'm talking about when they scored only 1 each of those games. So you look at this club, you got to find a way to kind of manufacture some runs.
Well, we've seen them grind out some victories, especially on the road this year, and it may have to be that way tonight against a top-notch pitcher like Garrett Cole. We talked to some players before the game and the skipper about the state of the Rockies the last few days.
As a team, we didn't perform at a pretty high level yesterday, and it's frustrating. The last couple games have been pretty frustrating, but you got to move on. We got games to play. We have a game today, and we got to be ready to go.
We got to keep doing what we're doing. I think we're in a good place. We've got a good mindset, and guys just need to continue doing what they're doing. We're going to hit. Everyone knows we're going to hit. It's just those times where our pitchers are pitching really well. We need to hit.
I think we've been pretty resilient over the last few years. I think we've shown that. It's been some tough years, but. I do like what this team is made of. I think it's a little bit different than what we've had the last few years.
And it's early in the season. You know, Jeff, having played so long in the big leagues, it is a marathon, but it's an early season gut check because the Rockies need to dominate, as we always say, at home, and right now they're 4-6 at Coors Field.
Yeah, figure out a way to win these next 3 ball games against Pittsburgh, but you're right. Sometimes those words, what guys are saying, are kind of hollow, where they're saying, well, yeah, we need to do. No, this club, you can really feel that when they say it, they mean it.
Yeah, it's a very close-knit bunch. You can feel that when you're around these guys. So the Rockies trying to extract themselves from a mini slump. They've lost 3 in a row. They'll send Jorge De La Rosa to the hill tonight. He's looking to rebound. Garrett Cole, as we talked about, for Pittsburgh. It's Colorado. It's Pittsburgh. Come on back to Coors Field with us. Well, most of the bad weather has cleared out. Tarp was on the field in the latter part of the afternoon. Neither team took batting practice outside. That was actually by design for the Rockies. The Pirates are playing good baseball. They are 4-3 on this 10-game trip, and the Rockies have 3 more against Pittsburgh. And again, again. It'll be Jorge De La Rosa going for the Rockies this evening. And historically, this is a good club for him to face. In fact, he has a .284 career ERA against the Bucks, which is best of any opponent that he has faced in his career. Jordy Mercer's going to lead things off for the Pirates tonight, and he's been hitting very well in that leadoff spot against left-handed pitching in particular. As we take a look at Clinton's lineup, brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Look who's back in the lineup. Andrew McCutchen. It's amazing, though. Andrew's hitting just .213. Gives you an idea. It's early in the season. I think he'll probably be about 100 points higher when all is said and done. David Freese, Starling Marte, Francisco Cervelli, they've all been swinging it well. Jason Rogers getting a start at first base, the former Milwaukee Brewer. Josh Harrison at second. Gregory Polanco will bat 8th against the left-hander, and then Garrett Cole. Well, De La Rosa in his last outing in Cincinnati was around for just 2 innings. He gave up 4 runs on 6 hits, and other than 1 start, he has scuffled mightily.
And that's why he wants to put this behind him. They also had 5 stolen bases in that 1 inning, did Cincinnati, against De La Rosa. But in his career here at Coors Field, he's 49-17, looking for that 50th win tonight. What does he feature? Well, you know what? He features a fastball about 90 miles an hour, a split finger, and this is about 40% for each of those pitches, so you don't know what's coming first. The fastball or the splitter will mix in that overhand curve and also will cut the ball as well.
So here we go. Jordy Mercer will step up. 6 for 13 against left-handed pitching this year.
And 6 for 9 against De La Rosa in his career.
He's got really good numbers against De La Rosa. And the first pitch of the ball game is outside, ball 1. Behind home plate is Dale Scott, the crew chief. Ramon De Jesus is at first base. Bob Davidson at second. Lance Barrett is at third base. Here's the 1-0. And that cuts over the outside corner. 1 ball, 1 strike. De La Rosa was scheduled to go yesterday. He got pushed back a day over the weekend. He was suffering from a stomach bug. He's feeling much better. And this ball's in the air, well hit right center field, but Cargo's got a glove up, and actually he'll give way now to Brandon Barnes. Let's take a look at the Rockies defensively this evening. In the outfield, Gerardo Parra is in left, Barnesy is in center, Cargo is in right, Nolan Arenado, Christian Adames giving Trevor Story a day off. He's at short, DJ LeMahieu, Ben Paulson, and Tony Walters. So Walt Weiss, not surprisingly, loading up on as many left-handed bats as he can. Yeah,
because there's a lefty going tomorrow and Jonathan Neese, and then a day game on Thursday. And he was just looking for a spot for Trevor, scuffling a little bit. So he just said, hey, let's just give him a break. He's dealt with a heck of a lot here in the first 3 weeks of the season.
He started every ball game, and we know what kind of start he got off to. But if you're looking for a day off, I think it's a pretty wise move to give him a day off against a guy the ilk of Garrett Cole. I mean, not many guys swing the bat well against Cole.
No, but you get another left-handed bat in Christian Adames. I know he's a switch hitter, but he'll be hitting from the left side against Garrett Cole.
Rockies do shift with McCutchen. Here's the 2-0, and that's outside, 3-0. Andrew got his first day off yesterday on this road trip. McCutchen just 3 for 23 with 11 strikeouts. Very unlike Andrew McCutchen, but it just speaks to how difficult this game is. I don't care who you are, and Andrew McCutchen is one of the game's very best players year in and year out. It's baseball, man, and the baseball gods will get you.
He's a National League leader in hits since 2010, over 1,000 hits during that time. And he's in one of those spells that every player goes through.
Here's the 3-1. And this ball's crushed. That is long gone. 1-0 Pittsburgh. Well, I was about to say to you that the great Albert Pujols was 0 for 26, and over the last 2 days he's hit 3 home runs.
You're not going to keep the great ones down very long. They'll have 3 or 4 games that they might not get a hit or they strike out a lot. But when you have the talent of Andrew McCutchen, he's not going to miss a pitch like this on the Subaru Supermo. Catches it right on the sweet spot of the bat on a 3-1 count. Stays behind the baseball, drives it out to left center field.
David Freese, this is hit a long way to center field. Barnes going back, and this one is gone. So back-to-back home runs in the first by McCutchen and Freese, a team that has not hit many home runs. And I'll be honest with you, the ball off the bat at Jordy Mercer I thought was really well hit also.
14th team home run, first for David Freese this season. I thought the fence out there, the higher fence might catch it and keep it in, but it did not. That ball was well hit in this heavy air at 41 degrees at first pitch.
And now the guy that loves hitting here more than anybody, Starling Marte, 600 batting average at Coors Field. These balls were just smothered. No other way to describe it.
No, Subaru Supermo will freeze it on contact, but look where this pitch is. I mean, belt high, full extension for David Freese.
Two strikes on Marte. Second in the National League in hits. Cargo is third in the National League in base hits. Gene Segura now with Arizona leading everybody right now. It's down low 1-2. What are you seeing, Huey? Because De La Rosa's been hit hard. He's nibbled. To me, it seems like the fastball's about 2 feet shorter than what we've seen in the past.
Exactly, and then that'll make your split finger not quite as effective because you don't get the spin rate on it. And then we could just go back to some numbers. In 2014, 41% of the time De La Rosa threw his fastball, but it averaged 92.3 miles an hour. Last year, 91.4. This year, 90, but we've seen a lot of 88s and 89s. So it's 2 or 3 miles an hour. That'll shorten or lengthen the time that you're able to react as a hitter.
This is pulled foul again. McCutchen's home run an estimated 439 feet. Freeze's an estimated 419 feet.
For a team that doesn't hit many home runs, they have some of the longest home runs going this year, distance-wise.
Yeah, isn't that something? Because, listen, they've hit really well. They lead Major League Baseball batting average and on-base percentage. They just haven't hit many home runs. And Pedro Alvarez, who used to sit in the middle of their lineup, wasn't a big average guy, but he'd hit home runs. He's now in Baltimore. So this club's off to a very good start offensively, but the fact that they've hit some home runs tonight is a little different than their MO so far this year. Here's a strikeout, 2 outs as Marte's retired. That'll bring up Cervelli. And as Huey was alluding to, here is a look at the longest home runs in baseball this year. Jordy Mercer has the longest at 466, then Nolan at 462. Correa with Houston, Colby Rasmus got off to the good start with Houston, and then Polanco and Sean Rodriguez. We haven't even seen Sean Rodriguez yet in this series. So they have 3 of the 6 longest home runs in baseball this year.
Maybe Sean's just celebrating his birthday today. He turned 31 today.
Most days do not pass by for the Pirates without Rodriguez showing up somewhere. Good defensive player, very versatile defensive player. He's off to a splendid start offensively also for the Bucks. 2-0 on Cervelli. Now the home here in Pittsburgh. We're not in Pittsburgh, but with the Pirates. Former Yankee. And it's got to be frustrating for a pitcher that's accustomed to being able to reach back and get a number that, you know, will run past a hitter more frequently than not. De La Rosa was a mid-90s guy for a good portion of his career.
That's a good pitch. Same arm action as the fastball. But that's, you know, for Jorge now, he's got to be able to paint the corners just a tad more. It was a turned over fastball. Maybe the split finger, he just got off to the side more, so it had more of a sideward tilt to it.
2-2. And he went back to the splitter. It's 3-2. He throws the split more than any pitcher in baseball.
Most guys will wait till they get to 2 strikes to throw it too. He'll throw it first pitch of an at bat to a hitter.
And ball 4, a walk. That'll bring up Jason Rogers. And that's a perfect illustration, Jeff, of Jorge not comfortable throwing his fastball. It's 3-2. When you're 92, 93, 94, you're going to go challenge. You can tell he just doesn't have the confidence in it.
Yeah, he feels more confident now with the split finger, and the numbers bear it out. The amount of times that he throws it compared to his fastball. But that's okay, is if you're commanding it, if you're working ahead. The first couple batters here already, he's fallen behind 2-0. Just did it to Cervelli, fell behind to McCutchen, 3-0.
That hit him. Jason Rogers will go to first.
Caught him in the back foot. Cold night, that's not going to feel good on the big toe.
You know, Jeff, for a veteran pitcher, you'll see sometimes they start slowly. And you can dismiss a couple poor starts here and there, but this has to now be alarming without question, because this is the 5th start. I know it's very early in the game, but you've seen 3 balls hit very hard, 2 went out of the ballpark, and now a walk and a hit batter.
The first start in Arizona, 4 2/3 and 4 against San Diego. 2 innings in his last start.
Josh Harrison swings through the fastball. Harrison last year made 24 starts at second base. He's a fixture there this year.
Well, they got rid of Neil Walker. That was a hard decision for them because Neil was a homegrown guy. He's from Pittsburgh, grew up there, played all the sports, kind of a hero.
Yeah, he was a great high school football player there. He's from a prominent family. His dad was a big league player, so that could not have been easy. And then when they look at the stats right now that he's putting up with the Mets, he's got 8 home runs, he's hitting over 300. Probably pains him a little bit more. This ball pulled towards short. It's going to eat up Adames. That'll bring home another run. That was a difficult play. A base hit for Harrison. 3-0 Pittsburgh. This is the last thing any night you want to see happen, but particularly given the circumstances of the last 2 games in particular for the Rockies.
Well, Cervelli was in scoring position because of the hit by pitch to Jason Rogers, and then Josh Harrison, that was his 32nd at bat with runners in scoring position, which is the most in the major league, and his 12th RBI.
8 men have now come to bat here in the opening frame, with Gregory Polanco standing at home plate. A frustrated Jorge De La Rosa. Rogers at second, Harrison at first, and Polanco takes a strike. Garrett Cole's just sitting there saying, keep swinging it. Thank you very much. A lot of comfortable swings, Jeff.
Just staying in there. They're seeing the ball well right now off of Jorge. How does he get the split finger? He's had 3 fastballs.
That'll end the inning. 8 come to bat, 2 home runs, an RBI single from Josh Harrison, 3-0 Pittsburgh. .41 degrees game time temperature. The Pirates throw up a 3 spot in the first inning. And Parr is going to face the ace of the Pittsburgh Pirates, Garrett Cole. Here's the Southwest batting order tonight for Walt Weiss. Christian Adames will bat second. That's where Trevor Story's been situated. Trevor getting the night off. Cargo, Arenado, Paulson in the middle. DJ LeMahieu will bat sixth in front of Brandon Barnes and then Tony Walters. Parr has been swinging it well. Garrett Cole coming off a beat down of San Diego. He went 6 innings, did not allow a run in an 11-1 victory. 4 hits, 7 strikeouts, no walks against the Padres at Petco.
And the only reason he wasn't the opening day starter for Pittsburgh is he was put behind the 8 ball just a little bit. He had some rib trouble in January, so that pushed his start time back. But now he's finding his groove again, and it's a fastball, and it's a heavy fastball at 95 miles an hour. Tight slider, over the top curveball, and then the straight change.
Right back, and Cole 1 out. Pirates have a very fleet outfield. Starling Marte, a Gold Glover in left. McCutchen is a terrific center fielder. Gregory Polanco, very gifted in right. David Freese and Jordy Mercer on the left side. Harrison, Jason Rogers on the right side of the infield, and Francisco Cervelli is doing the catching. Andrew McCutchen got a complete day of rest yesterday. Doesn't get many of those. A strike on Adames. Adames came into the ball game late yesterday and had a base hit. This is his first start at short. I mean, as we discussed, Story has started every game till tonight. And Adames, it's a soft fly ball that's going to drop in the left center field. But Christian, who was an all-star last year in the Pacific Coast League playing shortstop, has a single with 1 out in front of Cargo.
Really had to pull his hands in on that pitch from Cole to hit the ball to left field.
Cargo 1 for 4 and a walk last night. Has never faced Garrett Cole.
Last time the Rockies saw Garrett Cole was 2013 at PNC Park. Gave up 3 runs in 5 1/3 inning in that game.
Outside ball 1 on Carlos. Cargo with 26 hits, 3rd in the National League. We were discussing that earlier with Gene Segura on top. Outside 2-0. Cargo had an 11-game hitting streak to start the season, coupled with hitting in his final 10 of last year. It was a 21-game hitting streak, the longest of his career.
He's hit 16 of 19 games this year.
Yep. He's just been steady Eddie, hasn't he?
Yes, he has. To all fields.
And that's one of the reasons his chase percentage is down.
That's close on the Subaru strike zone, but not a pitch you're going to do anything with on a 2-0 count. And that's not where he was looking, and he had the smarts to lay off it.
3-0 with Nolan on deck. Rockies trailing 3-0 here in the first. Dale Scott says that caught the corner, barely. Cargo drives this to deep center field. McCutchen was playing shallow. He still gets back and makes the catch. He may have gotten that off.
Speed.
Yeah, he may have gotten that a smidgen off the end of the bat.
Well, McCutchen playing in the off gap, just turns and runs. Made that play look pretty easy. It all the way in the Subaru Supermo, and then picks up where the base runner is.
So here's Nolan, and he fouls the first offering back. Arenado 2 at-bats a couple of years ago against Cole. 0 for 2. Nolan was 0 for 4 last night. Rockies fell 6-1. Hits were even last night, 9 apiece. Adames dives back in.
It's just when the hits happened last night. That was the difference. Rockies were just 1 for 12 with runners in scoring position.
They had their chance.
They did.
Garrett Cole's a guy that does not give up many home runs. He fashioned a .260 ERA last year and winning 19 games. 19-8. He was an all-star, 4th in the Cy Young voting. 2nd in the league in wins, 5th in ERA. High fly ball to right field. Polanco's got it. The Rockies got a hit. They leave a man. Through 1 inning, it's 3-0 Pirates.
It is a Toyota Talk Tuesday, so that means, guess what? It's a Twitter Takeover Tuesday, and taking over the Root Sports Twitter account, none other than Josh Fogg, the former Rockies pitcher. Just hit him up with a question at @RootSports_RM. You may know him better as the Dragon Slayer, like Clint Hurdle does when he managed him here in 2007 when the Rocks went to the World Series. And here's what Clint had to say. He was, of course, now managing the Pirates.
We're going to have the play-in game. I go, we got some good news and some not so good news. And the guy's like, well, so the good news, we get to play at home. The play-in game is going to be on. The not so good news is they're throwing Peavy and we're throwing Josh. And the place blew up. I mean, in a positive way, because they're like, yeah, it couldn't be any other way. Fogg had to have that game.
And indeed he did, as Fogg was the guy that seemed to face all the ones and twos, as he said. That's why he became the Dragon Slayer. And you guys remember the big mural that he got, right? Back in 2007?
Well, yeah. there was one portion of the story that Clint didn't tell, and we'll have to clean it up for a family audience. Tulowitzki, as soon as Clint finished, said, we've got no
chance.
bleep chance
to win that game, right?
Then that broke up the room even more.
So Josh is with us tonight.
Oh, that'll be fun. One of the all-time Rockies, a guy that was popular in the clubhouse and had big guts on the mound. I guess it's fitting that Fogger's with us tonight because he's a former Pirate also.
I just like the name Dragon Slayer. Of course, that's the name of our team in fantasy camp too.
That's right. You teamed up with.
I teamed up with Josh.
So after falling behind 3-0 to Garrett Cole, De La Rosa comes back to strike him out. 3 strikeouts. Some of the highlights, Josh Fogg with the Rockies in their last 2 playoff years. Whenever Fogger would get a right-handed batter in an upside-down count, 0-2-1-2, that front door cutter. And he throws so many hitters with that. Jordy Mercer at the plate, flew out to very deep right center field his first time.
I think the arms are a little bigger.
The arms and the neck. I mean, he looks like a linebacker there. And we all know that's not the case.
Remember that game he pitched in Seattle? That imperfect, perfect game where
the game that took 20 minutes to finish.
It was like 27 batters.
It was the imperfect, perfect game. And I think it was an hour and 52 or something like that.
It seemed like you barely sat down to start talking about the game, and then you're getting up because it was over.
And it was a gorgeous, gorgeous day. I remember that because when it's pretty out in Seattle, a few places is beautiful. 0-2 on Mercer.
Maybe you'll answer this question for me, Josh. What did it feel like when you ran out to the hill for game 163?
We throw the term around an electric atmosphere probably too frequently, but that was an electric atmosphere. Hard on the ground at third, came up a little bit, but Nolan equal to the task as he ordinarily is, and he throws out Mercer for the second out. So he was opposing, as you heard Clint say, Jake Peavy. All Peavy did in 2007 was go 19-6 with a 254 and was the Cy Young Award winner.
But he also matched up against Mussina that year with the Yankees. Kurt Schilling with Boston. Brandon Webb when he was, before he was injured for Arizona.
Beat Webb, beat Moose, Schilling, Peavy. Thus earning the nickname, the Dragon Slayer. 1-0 on McCutcheon, who did a long home run his first time up, and he hits this ball well to center field. And this one's going to get on out of here. Make it 4-0 Pittsburgh. McCutcheon, who was 3 for his previous 23, got a day of rest from Clint Hurdle. Boy, has that ever worked out.
Doubled his home run total. 10th multi-home run game for Andrew.
It's a little different.
Yeah, that is. Split finger on the Subaru Supermo, but again, didn't do anything. It didn't tumble. Well, you know, when the center fielder just kind of gives it that courtesy jog out there, and it still goes 5 or 6 rows deep.
Freese also hit a home run in that first inning. McCutchen from Meade, Florida, Fort Meade, Florida, and Polk County. Two balls and a strike. My favorite story about McCutchen, told it many times through the years. As an 8th grader, he was playing varsity baseball, and he won the county batting championship as an 8th grader.
That's just hard to fathom.
Yeah, deep in the hole, and Adames throws out Freese. So McCutchen has a pair of solo home runs. The Pirates have a 4-0 second inning lead at Coors Field. Ball on Root Sports is brought to you by your hometown Toyota stores. Toyota, let's go places. By American Family Insurance, insure carefully, dream fearlessly. And by Southwest Airlines, transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. A lot of weather late this afternoon, but it's cleared on out. We did have a rain delay first of the year last night of 30 minutes. Bottom of the second inning, Ben Paulson will lead it off against Garrett Cole. Ben's got the average at 308, a home run, 9 driven in. Paulson grew up in the Atlanta area, played college baseball at Clemson. Pretty good hitting coach there at the time.
Clemson?
Yeah. His dad.
His dad, yeah, it helps.
His dad's now the head coach at Winthrop.
He was in Atlanta last year, I believe.
He was. And no play. As soon as that took the second hop,
yeah,
Freese had no chance, and Ben's got an infield single.
And Ben will take it. Chopped it off the plate. You know, Baltimore chop.
You know, you never apologize for those.
Heck no, you'll take it every day of the week and then some. Now Freese, when he decides to stop, that's when you know it's going to be a base hit, and he wisely just grabbed it and tossed it back to Garrett Cole. Because those are the ones, if you grab it and try to rush it, you'll airmail it, throw it into the stands, and then he's standing on second base.
DJ had a couple of hits last night. That's good to see. Batting 6th tonight, and that gets past Cervelli. And Paulson will move into scoring position.
Fastball from Garrett Cole, and he just overamped it. Caught Cervelli in the thumb.
I would, you know, it's interesting. We'll see what they call it. I would call that a wild pitch because
I would
it's
too,
a 3-foot miss.
Yeah, where he set up. I know it went off his glove, and that's kind of the indication that it would be a pass ball, but he was lucky to get leather on it.
And they called it a pass ball.
Well, like I said, because it hit his glove and not the ground first.
2-0, and that's fouled off by LeMahieu. Rockies trying to snap a 3-game losing streak, and they're down 4-0 to Garrett Cole and the Pirates as they hit in the second. Two and 2. Cole has been really good against the NL West in his career. 6-1 with a 1.97 ERA.
Pretty good out on the road last year too, at 2.39 ERA, which was the 5th best in the National League.
And Liriano at the top of that Pirate rotation.
Garrett Cole, an all-star in 2015. 19-8.
Got to be a little hardy tonight, sitting in the stands. They were ready. Got the Rockies pull over. That's fouled off. Rockies blanket. I can later on break out my Rockies skull cap if necessary.
Doug has cap on tonight. We've got our jackets on. You broke out the heater underneath our feet.
And if you're not paying attention, I'm going to turn it off oscillate.
No, you're not.
Keep it right on one. Bouncing ball to second. Mayhew moves the runner 90 feet.
Oh, Josh says he was nervous 3 times in his career on the mound. Game 163, understandable. The World Series, yep, in his first appearance.
He never ever gave any indication that he was nervous.
No, not at all.
Josh always had the same demeanor.
Same calm look on his face.
Barnes with a hard hit ball off of Harrison. It'll get the run home.
Well, that's a
the
little
Rockies on the board, 4-1.
Talk about the little things in our open about what the club needed to do, and this was one of them. You had the infield single by Paulson. He advances on the pass ball. What does DJ do? He hits the ball to the right side, gets him to third base, and then Brandon Barnes, another ground ball, RBI. Manufacturing runs.
2 outs, nobody on with the run home, and Tony Walters steps up. Quick update from Visalia, California. Modesto in the California League playing Visalia. Charlie Blackmon playing the first of 2 ball games on a rehab assignment. First at bat, he flew out to center field. fastball is in the air to left, playable for Marte. So the Rockies got a leadoff base hit from Paulson, and they worked him around. And it's 4-1 as we go to the third. Jorge De La Rosa. McCutcheon has 2 of them. David Freese the other one. The Coors Light Cold Hard Facts brought to you by Clean. Crisp Coors Light. National League starters with most wins in their home ballpark, their current home ballpark. De La Rosa is 4th on the list. Kershaw, 64 at Dodger Stadium. Adam Wainwright, who's off to a slow start, has won 63 at Busch. And Matt Cain, 54 at AT&T. Matt Cain also off to a slow start. So 3 of the 4 on that list, prominent names, all struggling in the month of April. The guy who's not is Clayton Kershaw.
And he starts tonight at home against the Marlins and Tom Kohler.
Starling Marte, cleanup man tonight for Clint Hurdle. He struck out swinging in the first. And he gets an off-speed pitch in the dirt, 1-0. It's 2-0 on Marte. Jorge, among natives of Mexico, has the 5th most wins all time. Fernando #1. Esteban Loaiza, Ismael Valdez, Giovanni Gallardo, who's still active. He just went on the DL though.
Yes,
Gallardo.
he did. And Teddy Higuera.
Did you overlap any with Teddy Higuera?
No.
He's in Milwaukee a long time.
Ismael Valdez, I did.
2-1. 2-2. Pirates have won 4 of their last 5. They have 4 runs tonight. When they score 4 in a game or more, they're 11-3. When they score less than 4, nada. They haven't won yet. Three and 2. And the streak that's so disturbing for the Rockies concerning the Pirates is the Pirates have won 6 consecutive games at 20th and Blake.
That dates back to July 27th, 2014.
Swept a 4-game set here last September. And the strikeout on the off-speed pitch. So Marte never did see a fastball. And that is strikeout number 4. 1 out. Francisco Cervelli coming up. Question of Josh Fogg, who is your favorite catcher to throw to in the big leagues? You know, I don't know if he Is he going to answer it? Oh, he did answer it.
Your Veet. David Ross just caught the no-hitter the other day from Jake Arrieta.
He broke in 78. I loved your Vittori Albert.
He was so much fun. He brought an energy, too.
He brought an energy and an edge. And that is a strike. And, you know, we can ask Wagner that. He did bring something that is necessary, I think, for all winning clubs. And was such a great addition. Remember, it's not a knock on Chris Iannetta, but the 2 playoff years, 07 and 09, you know, Chris was playing a lot, but in the end, it became your Veet playing every day.
Down the stretch, he was behind the dish. I'm trying to think, was it Matt Kemp?
It was Matt Kemp
that they got
face to face with Matt Kemp. Yeah. Afterward, your Veet said, "I don't know how that would have turned out. He's a pretty big guy, but at the time, he was." I want to say nose to nose, but actually Matt's nose was probably the forehead of.
But that's to the point. Just to be able to have that. Okay, we're not going to back down to you.
No
attitude.
No, every Rocky fan loved it. Every guy in a uniform with Rockies on their chest loved it. Another full count. Cervelli walked and scored on a base hit by Josh Harrison in the 3-run first for Pittsburgh. Hard on the ground toward the hole. DJ can't reach it. And it's a base hit for Cervelli. 5th hit of the night for Pittsburgh. I'll bring up Jason Rogers. Rogers forced his way back to the big leagues by hitting .366 with 3 home runs, 10 RBIs in his first 11 AAA games this year. That's when you assume the phone will ring, or you hope the phone will ring.
Well, you hope it does. Down in Indianapolis, their AAA ball club. Beautiful ballpark in Indy.
Part of a revitalized downtown in Indianapolis. Rogers with the Brewers last year got 22 starts at first base, couple in left field, also 1 at third base.
Like that motto. Doesn't matter if you win 10-9, just win.
One and 2 on Rogers. I think all pitchers, and De La Rosa's mastered this. And we all know how great he's been at Coors Field, 49 and 17 at Coors Field. That it may not be pretty.
It's all right.
But you can get wins if you hang tough.
Aaron Cook, 36 wins at Coors Field. Jeff Francis, 34.
They all understood you may win 6-5, 7-6, but you're shaking hands at the end of the night.
Keep your ball club close. I mean, that's the bottom line. If you fall behind like Jorge did in the first couple innings, 4-0 before your team scored, so what? Just don't let it expand.
And another strikeout. The one area where De La Rosa this year, despite his troubles, the one area that actually, from a number standpoint, that's higher than it's been in a while is the strikeouts.
He came in with 23 strikeouts and 17 in the 3rd innings. And tonight, add another 5 to that list.
5 of the 8 outs recorded by strikeout. Josh Harrison, an RBI single, his first time. Here's our Quicken Loans Rocket Arms. Rockies all-time strikeout list. De La Rosa #1. Ubaldo's #2. Ubaldo's going tonight for Baltimore. Pedro Estacio, Petey's #3. Most strikeouts first 3 major league seasons for the Pirates with the runner going. And a stolen base for an unlikely candidate, the catcher Francisco Cervelli, and that conjures up thoughts from Cincinnati.
Well, this was just first movement steal, not even a look back. First stolen base for Cervelli this year, 15 for the Pirates. As soon as Jorge brought his leg up, he was gone.
Reds were 5 of 5.
There's a couple of those that the guys didn't even slide.
They stole 4 in 1 inning.
Obviously, they're reading something on the delivery. Because again, that's back to back. And then not even sliding going into third base. You kind of expected from Billy Hamilton with his speed.
3-0's in there, 3-1. Cervelli closing in on a milestone in his career. He's 2 bags away from 10.
Double digits. That's all he's saying. Get me to double digits.
These people look at the stats quickly. They say, okay, he stole some bases too. Unless you look really closely at the numbers. That's the second walk allowed by De La Rosa. He's also hit a batter. Gregory Polanco struck out coming up. A lot of pitches, 67 pitches in 2 2/3.
The high water mark for Jorge this year was 102 pitches. And that was that performance against San Francisco, where he worked 6 2/3. Last outing, just 63 pitches thrown, but that all came in just 2 innings. Be sure to catch the best fireworks shows in town this summer on Friday, July 8th and Saturday, July 9th, following the game against the Philadelphia Phillies. Right before the All-Star break. All-Star game in San Diego this year. Voting just opened up.
A little early for me.
A little early? You think May 1st is...
No, too early.
Too early still?
That kicks away. It's a wild pitch, and both runners move up.
Tony slides over, but the ball was a foot in front of home plate. Had that in-between hop. Tough to smother it and keep it in front. Kicks off to his left. Easily advanced now with that wild pitch. He'll put Polanco on to bring the pitcher up and load the bases.
Garrett Cole fell behind his first at bat, 3-0, and then struck out.
Foster on the phone.
Remember, the Rockies have slated Chris Russin to start Jordan Lyles' spot in Arizona.
It's going to be
leaves only one long haul guy, and that's Christian Bergman.
And that's who just got up, just threw his second pitch out in the bullpen.
Cole is not a bad hitter. He hit a home run a couple years ago.
Not wearing any batting gloves for a cool evening.
Yeah, that's surprising. Cole went to Orange Lutheran High School in Orange County, California. And on the ground, a second. DJ to first. That'll end the inning. There was a hit and a couple of walks, one of them intentional. 4-1 Pirates as we go to the bottom of the third. Colorado Rockies baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by Subaru. Love, it's what makes a Subaru a Subaru. By Jack in the Box. Taste the Jumbo-licious Jumbo meal before it's gone, only at Jack in the Box. By Wells Fargo, customers get your 2-for-1 Rockies club level tickets by visiting wellsfargo.com/Rockies. And by CenturyLink, your link to what's next. It's a very important question as we look at the score, 4-1 Pittsburgh. Josh Fogg is with us all night long, handling the Rockies. The Root Sports Twitter account. Garrett Cole finishing his warm-up pitches. In the golf games that took place in January in Scottsdale prior to the start of fantasy camp, who was the big winner? Who was the big loser?
I think I know who the big loser was, but I'll wait for Josh to verify it.
Just checking. I think I know as well. De La Rosa will lead things off, then Parra and Adames. 9-1-2 for the Rockies. They scratched out a run last inning. Or he's actually swung the bat well this year. .429 average, throwing out a couple of RBIs also.
3 for 7 on the season.
And, you know, that word gets around. 2-0.
Pitch him carefully.
Oh, yeah, nibbling. De La, hard ground ball, smothered by Freeze, and he's going to get De La Rosa at first. That's about the only way you can get him out these days.
Smothered was a great description of that, Drew, because that's what David Freeze did. Ball was hit well. He just takes a step and dives and falls on top of it. Look from the Subaru Supermo. He had time to get Daly going down the line.
Hard comebacker for Gerardo Parra in the bottom of the first inning. A 4-hit ball game on Sunday. Robbed of a 5th hit on diving catch by Trace Thompson. Drove in 4. His career best in RBIs is 5.
And even with that ground out in the first inning, he's 6 for his last 11.
And this is in the air to McCutchen. Adames has one of the Rockies' hits. He'll come up with 2 out, nobody on. And fans, if the Rockies score 7 or more runs, make sure you make your way to participating Colorado Taco Bell locations the next day. Do it between 4 and 6 to get your Rockies taco special. Liv Moss at Taco Bell. Thomas's base hit was a soft line drive to left center field.
A couple years ago for Christian, he led the Winter League in batting.
He started to get stronger.
Oh, watch it.
There's a phrase in professional baseball. This will make you move quickly.
Well, and it's a tough pitch to get out of the way of when you're thinking, I'm going to lay down a bunt and I want to try to drop it down the third base line. So more of your momentum's going that way and the ball's cutting inside. Hop out of the way.
Especially as hard as he throws. There's a phrase in baseball, Huey, that sometimes guys that aren't that strong, they say, well, he gets the bat knocked out of his hand. I think Christian, early in his professional career, that may have applied, but no longer.
No.
He's really got strong, and the evidence of it was that Winter League batting title.
Yeah, you get in the weight room, you have all the advantages.
Swing the bat like that. 2 for 2 tonight for Adames.
I think it goes back to last night for Christian when he got that base hit in the 7th inning. He came up looking for a fastball and drove it to center field, and then blooped one in his first at bat to left field, started to swing the bat. And this is what you want if you're a guy that's not getting starts regularly, to be able to string a stretch together where you get 6 or 7 at bats in 2 days.
So even if it's another couple days before you come up again, there's a confidence level.
Right, because the next time you might come up, it might be the 8th or 9th inning, and you're going up against a closer for the other ball club. But now I have confidence when I step into that box.
In the recent reservoir of your mind, you've had success. Here's Cargo, hit one to deep center his first time. Outside, ball 1. Cargo, check swing. We have an answer. Fogger has said Addy killed us. Spilly is by far the worst. So that's kind of what we figured.
Yep. Thank you, Josh. We just needed to make sure that all the stories we heard were correct. We had Addy on the other day. Was it last week or the week before?
Addy was, I think, last week.
Last week,
yeah.
Okay.
He basically said the same thing. Spilly's golf game's bad. No, it's actually not that bad. We all played together a couple times in Phoenix.
There's Spilly.
And you know what? I guarantee you, because it was sticking out of his bag yesterday, some sort of golf magazine. So he's taking lessons even when he's supposedly working.
I know Sully later on this summer is going over to Scotland to play with his dad.
That'll be a blast.
That will be.
The good fortune of playing over there several years back, right at the end of the baseball season. Here's the 1-2. And you know who I saw? We were at the old course. We're getting ready to tee off. My father-in-law and I, and tee off on 1, and walking up 18. Literally, baseball season's over about a week.
Yeah.
The big unit, Randy Johnson.
Saw Randy during spring training.
Did you?
Yeah. And he was in Arizona on opening day.
He's hard to miss.
Yes, he is.
2-2. Outside.
Great
3.
eye.
Oh, wow. Dale Scott. And I know what folks are thinking. That is way off the plate. That was a Lance Barrett strike last night.
That's on the strike on the Subaru strike zone for sure.
That's frustrating. You have your 3-hole hitter up, and you get that called. Strike zone last night, as were many of Lance Barrett. He got ejected for the first time this year. That was one of 6 backward Ks last night. Barrett ran Wall, and then later on, Ryan Rayburn was rung up on this pitch. Second time he's called out on strikes. Tommy Reynolds was yelling, but not before Rayburn got thrown out. And then this pitch tonight, a strike called by Dale Scott. By the way, that was Rayburn's first career ejection.
In 11 years.
He's been in the league a long time. And here's something else. The Rockies are not exactly a team with a high walk rate. They're up there swinging the bat. So when you see a team that's very aggressive get called out 6 times.
And all the pitches we showed on the Subaru strike zone, they weren't strikes, and they had legitimate beefs with it. Now on for Jorge De La Rosa, Christian Bergman. For Christian, this is his 6th ball game.
This ball's well hit right center field, and Cargo's going to have to play it off the wall. Mercer is in with a double. First pitch for Bergman is hit a ton to right center field.
A couple balls have traveled well that we've seen tonight. David Freese with the home run to right center field, and now this ball would have been real close on the old fence. Cargo fires it back in, just couldn't get Jordy Mercer.
Andrew McCutchen had been struggling on this road trip. 3 for 23, got yesterday off. Well, he's healthy again. 2 for 2, 2 long home runs in his first 2 at bats. De La Rosa gave up 3 home runs, 4 runs in 3 innings, 5 hits. He walked 3. One of the walks was intentional, 5 strikeouts. So De La Rosa has now thrown 20 1/3 innings in 5 starts. You all can do the math at home. That's just 4 innings an outing. So,
and also 73 pitches to just get through 3 innings tonight.
So, other than the 1 start at home for De La Rosa, his lone victory, it has been tough times. Good pickup by Nolan. One out, David Freese, who is homered tonight, and also a ground ball to short. That's a strike. Just to conclude our conversation about the strike zone from last night. Lance Barrett did have a big zone east and west, and I think the Rockies had every right to have a beef, but it works both ways. Jeff Locke took advantage of it, and at the end of the night, it was 6-1 Pittsburgh. And I think if you go in that clubhouse afterward, though they were disappointed, though they were upset, they still understand that, you know, 6-1. It wasn't a 1-run game. It was a 6-1 final, and Pittsburgh deserved to win.
They did. They took advantage of pitches when they had the opportunities. A couple times early, especially in the ball game, the Rockies didn't do that. Had a chance to just put a run on here, run on there, and then you don't know how Jeff Locke's going to pitch after that, because he came into the ball game with a over 7 ERA.
Yeah, closer to an 8 ERA. Mercer at second, 1 out, 1-2's outside, 2-2 on David Freese.
It's been a good pickup for the Pirates. I mean, not necessarily talking about what he's done offensively, but what he does over at third base compared to what they had prior with Pedro Alvarez.
Bergman strikes out Freese for the 2nd out.
Some slider action from Christian. Oh, excuse me, that was a changeup. Just got a good look at it on the Subaru Supermo. I just thought the way it went down and the way David Freese swung at it, it had slider action.
Marte 0 for 2, a pair of strikeouts against De La Rosa. Side, ball 1. Rockies have a nice combination of 2 long haul guys in Bergman, and on the left side, Chris Russin. Russin will get that spot start coming up on the weekend in Arizona.
But it's nice when you can, at a moment's notice, call on those guys and say, hey, you need to get up and go, or you're going to have to start tomorrow because somebody's not feeling well. Whatever it may be, does it give me the ball, I'm ready to go.
Russin in 11 innings this year, 2.45 ERA. Chase swing there. It's 1-2 on Marte.
Chris had the late start in spring training. He had the bad finger, so it took him longer to start to work into what he needed to do. And he'll still be on a pitch count when he goes down and out in Arizona.
Yeah, he's not fully stretched out. Probably hope to get 5. Strike 3 on the inside corner. Marte gone for the 3rd time tonight. Terrific pitching by Bergman, who gave up the leadoff double to Mercer. You got McCutchen, Freese, and Marte. Good part of the Bucks lineup. It remains 4-1 Pittsburgh.
Bottom 4, Pirates up 4-1. Nolan Arenado will lead off. We've got Josh Fogg for our Twitter takeover today from Toyota Talk, and he was a leader with the Rockies back in '07. Nolan's a leader today, and I asked him about these past 2 losses, if he has to lead a little bit more in the clubhouse.
Yeah, but you know, I need to lead by example at the same time. You know, I got to make sure I get my work in and get better. You know, I'm not playing the way I'd like to play right now, and you know, I know I'm not far off, and this isn't who I know I am as a ball player, so it's frustrating, and I know I could help this team win. I'm not helping them the way I'd like, but you know, we're competing, we're doing a good job as a team. Guys are picking each other up, guys are picking me up, and we just got to keep doing that.
And here's Nolan with a long drive. On cue.
Well, he just picked his team up a little bit right there. Dead central, number 8 for Nolan. That thing stayed hit for a while.
You could tell he's what he was talking about in that interview with Mark, that he wasn't far off. There was a couple balls last night that he hit, the one in particular in the 6th inning when he flew out to dead center field. Now this one, Garrett. I just like the reaction of Garrett Cole because he knew it when it was hit. 8th home run of the season for Nolan.
He joins Trevor Story with 8 home runs. Only Bryce Harper more with 9. That's a fair foul ball. That was close.
A slider that didn't bite as much as Garrett wanted to, but look at this. It's going to catch it right on the sweet spot of the bat. And then the drive from Nolan. Notice how he takes that top hand off, and that helps with the extension of the bat. Allows you to drive the ball out to the opposite way or to dead center field.
First home run allowed by Garrett Cole. So according to Nolan, and I know what he means, you know, he's scuffling a little bit. Huey, would you like to be scuffling with 8 home runs and 18 RBIs, and it's April 26th?
Heck yeah. I mean, a lot of guys would like to be, but that's how high the bar is set now for Nolan. After what he did last year, 42 home runs.
He's probably looking up and he's saying, I'm not even hitting half. That's called strike 3. I'm not even hitting half of what I hit in spring training.
Well, that was it's kind of a joke during spring training what he was hitting. Every ball was hit hard, 2, 3 hits a ball game.
LeMahieu grounded to second, but moved Ben Paulson, who had singled to third. He would score when Brandon Barnes also grounded to second. That was in the 2nd inning. 4-2. That's why middle relief is in an unheralded spot, but it is much appreciated by a ball club and a manager. Christian Bergman can keep it on hold for a couple more innings. Give that Rockies offense a chance to get even or push ahead. We've seen Russin do that twice, give the Rockies a chance to get back in a ball game.
Even getting out of that last inning without giving up a run after the leadoff double. That's big.
Huge.
Be careful.
That home run by Nolan Arenado also snapped the 3-game homerless drought. They hadn't gone 4 straight since last May. One and 2.
Gives them 29 as a ball club. 29 home runs.
Among the league leaders in that department. If you're just joining us, the Pirates got 3 in the first against De La Rosa. This ball's in the air, long run in left center field, but McCutchen with the closing speed gets there. He was over in right center, and that's the 2nd out.
Well, we know DJ likes to hit the ball the other way, but here's Andrew McCutchen right out there in center field. He'll end up catching the ball over in this area. Look how far he has to go to make that. And they actually had to start slowing down, otherwise he would have overrun the baseball.
Two outs. Brandon Barnes at the plate. Walt Weiss at the end of this half inning will join us. Walt does that all season long. Tuesday nights at home. 1 ball, 1 strike. Arenado with the home run also scored his 18th run of the year. That's tops in the National League. One and 2. This is going to be a tough chance for Harrison on the move, and he just did get Barnes. So Josh Harrison with a nifty play. Rockies get within 2 runs on the home run by Arenado. His 8th of the year, so it's 4-2 as we go to the 5th. Walt Weiss in a couple of moments. Nights at home by the skipper, Walt Weiss. Walt, straight up, obviously another tough outing for Jorge De La Rosa. What is the level of concern right now?
Yeah, he doesn't quite look right. Velocity down a tick. He's throwing a lot of change-ups, and I know that's his bread and butter, but he's going to it early and often. He pulled his groin right there going to first base, so we got him out of there.
And tonight, talking before the ball game with Nolan, and he's talking about the ball club and how he needs to lead by example, and he sure did that last half inning.
Yeah, I mean, you can only keep Nolan down for so long. It's just a matter of time, and that was vintage Arenado swing right there.
Well, I know you've gotten good outings from Russin and long relief, and you hope to get the same from Berge right here, huh?
Yeah, exactly. Both of those guys have been saviors for us at times, and Berge's done it many times. We're looking for him to do it again.
Walt, appreciate
Thanks,
it. Good
Walt.
luck the rest of the way.
Thanks.
Walt Weiss downstairs. Bergman ready to go against Francisco Cervelli, and this is fouled off. Well, Walt let us in. It wasn't just performance-based. De La Rosa, when he was running up the line on that hard hit ball to third, pulled his goal. You can see it there.
You can see him pull up. And that's something that he's dealt with in the past.
Two-strike count on Cervelli. That is an injury that has been somewhat chronic for him, and that is very debilitating for a pitcher because you're reaching, pushing off the rubber with one leg and reaching with the other.
He's going to come into play, and it's not just that. It's fielding bunts, it's covering first base.
A walk and a single and a stolen base tonight for Francisco Cervelli. Next thing you know, he's going to be challenging Andrew McCutchen to a foot race tomorrow afternoon when they're warming up. I still like McCutchen in that race.
Yeah, I would take McCutchen every day and then some more too. He's not going to beat Francisco in or Francisco's not going to beat him in a race.
You don't think so, huh?
No.
Who do you like, Fogger or Cervelli?
I'll take the Dragon Slayer.
Other than on the golf course and sitting on a bucket coaching, when was the last time Josh Fogg ran? That's our question for Fogg here at the top of the fifth inning. 3-2, and Cervelli hits a high fly ball that's playable in center field for Barnes. 1 out.
Hey folks, mini plan started just 8 games and $111 guaranteed the Yankees and summer fireworks games with the 15-game pickup plan. Call 303 Rockies or go online to rockies.com/mini-plans.
They didn't even know each other when they came in the ballpark tonight, but listen, when the elements are like this, you become fast friends.
It was warmer this morning than it is at first pitch tonight.
It still says 41 degrees.
I'm not buying that.
The Cracker Jacks, they work in the summer or the winter.
Doesn't matter. They taste good, warm or cold.
That's right. 1 ball, 1 strike on Jason Rogers.
Okay.
I think that thing's broken.
Maybe it's the wind chill. We don't have that. That's what's throwing us off.
Deep short. Adames has a long throw. Rogers doesn't run great, and he gets him by a step and a half.
Second baseman, number 5, Josh Harrison.
Leadoff double in the 4th inning by Mercer. Bergman has set down the next 5. 2 outs, nobody on. Josh Harrison is coming up. We've got an answer. Softball on Wednesday night.
That's why I'm taking him in a foot race against Cervelli. Okay.
Yeah. See. Yeah. I think you're right.
I'm sticking with my co-coach from fantasy camp. I'm not going to throw him under the bus. We have a great time together, Josh and I do. I think sometimes he looks at me, he's like, really? You put that person in that position? But hey, it's fantasy camp.
Is he not one of the easiest going guys you've ever been around in the big leagues?
For sure.
Now tell me you don't pitch in that slow pitch softball league in Florida.
I don't think he did. I think he just wants to crank out homers.
That's funny, because earlier you said, you know, Fox probably punched Judy second baseman on that team.
I did not.
Here's the 1-2 on Harrison outside, 2-2.
I'd like to know it. I mean, I kind of know, but for the fans at home, besides playing in this Wednesday night softball league, what else is he doing to keep busy?
This is another tough chance. That's on the ground, and Adames quickly fired to first. He's got the safe call from Lance Barrett at third, indicating that it was not a catch. Another good inning for Christian Bergman, and you can see clearly he was on the short hop. Nicely done by Adames. Colorado Rockies baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. With Jeff Hewson and Mark Stott, I'm Drew Goodman. Manning our Root Sports Twitter account this evening is Josh Fogg. Any questions you have for Fogger, fire away right now. See, something about little kids, they never get cold. Tony Walters fouls it off. I don't need that jacket. Come on, Dad.
Well, it's just like your kids. They go to school in shorts and a sweatshirt.
Not even a sweatshirt. It's snowing out there, and they're in T-shirts. Unbelievable.
I like, put a hat on. No, I don't need it, Dad. Okay.
Walters lays down a bunt, but Cole was quick off the mound. 1 out. So we're getting more information from Josh on what he's up to. Coaching baseball and softball. I have a 9-year-old boy, Coy, and daughter, Quinn. That's what he should be doing.
That's right.
No better day than that.
No. What snack after the game?
Exactly. Who's got the juice boxes?
Who's got the juice box and the snack for today's game?
Bergman nearly had what could have been extra bases. Charlie Blackmon, another update. Charlie playing a rehab game for Modesto tonight in Visalia in the Cal Leagues, 0 for 3. There's a swinging bunt, and Bergman has a base hit.
Jeff Locke had one of those base hits for Pittsburgh last night. Now it's Christian Bergman's time. First hit of the season. Not sure what Clint's waiting for. They're going to get a replay of this. I thought it was pretty obvious that he beat it by a half step. First play from David Freese, he gets rid of it.
And you see just a subtle difference. David Freese went leather to hand, and you know if it's Nolan's going barehanded.
And some guys just don't feel comfortable doing that. They're more comfortable going glove. Yeah, that's a half step.
Parra, base hit through the left side. And Bergman will stop at second. Bergman's going straight old school. Remember, it could be July in St. Louis and 108 degrees, 200% humidity. The pitcher, if he got on, had to wear the warm-up jacket.
Well, and tonight, and for obvious reasons, he's wearing it, but you're right.
Do you remember that?
I do remember that. That was right after they were brought in on the golf cart.
They came in on the golf cart. They had to put the jacket on.
I'm like, well, you don't need a jacket. It's 110 degrees on the turf. Yeah, I need it. Okay.
Christian Adames 2 for 2. And he takes inside ball 1. 4 runs, 6 hits, 3 long balls for the Pirates tonight. The Rockies 2 runs, 6 hits. Go ahead run at the plate with 1 out. Rockies hitting in the 5th. Cargo's on deck. Fouled off. 1 and 2. Well, the Rockies have not been a consistent offense at home. They've 3 times been in double digits, but it looks like the old roller coaster ride. 10, 11, and then 7 down to 1, 10 down to 1 last night. And they have 2 runs this evening. Still plenty of baseball left though.
That's in 10 ball games. Good eye.
I'll say this, Jeff, that Garrett Cole has a terrific resume. He has the 2.70 ERA coming in. Last year he had a sub-3 ERA. The Rockies have only 2 runs, but they're having quality at bats against him.
It's not like he's overmatching him, for sure. Also came in with a whip of just 1.02 this year.
And this gets away, and everybody's going to move up 90 feet, and that is a pass ball.
And that will be the second pass ball tonight for Cervelli.
That's huge. You throw out a base hit now, and it's a tie game in all likelihood. Parra runs well. He's at second.
But not even a base hit. It could be a ground ball to the second baseman or shortstop. Subaru Supermo off the thumb of Cervelli. 2 times tonight, Christian's had to do the dance with his feet to get out of the way of the pitch.
I give up. The first one was called a wild pitch. That one.
No, the first one was called a pass ball.
First one's called a pass ball. I thought it was a wild pitch. This one, I thought pass ball for wild pitch. Whatever, it's second and third.
That's right. And just put the ball in play. You'll have a run.
We were talking about confidence and how Adames, who started out slowly offensively, doesn't get to have a string of at-bats typically. But the last couple days, he's thrown out 3 hits. And you just see kind of a different guy at the plate.
Before that.
Yeah.
And now you get that hit. Oh, I'll throw out 2 more tonight.
3 and 2.
Careful still.
He has EY bouncing around at first, and Stu having a duck to get out of the way.
But that's when you know you're confident at the plate. They came inside. He pulled it to first. That last pitch, they tried to work him away. He lined it down the third base side.
Bergman at third, an infield hit. Parra a base hit. He's at second after the wild pitch. Cole dialed up 96 on that fastball. He can do that. Pitchers can run. Got to take care of your brethren, Josh. Held up. No swing. They check it out with Lance Barrett. And now the bases are jammed for Carlos Gonzalez.
And what an at-bat from Christian Adames.
Tremendous AB.
I mean, he had some tough pitches to foul off, and then check swing.
Ray Searage is going to go out, the pitching coach for Pittsburgh.
I mean, this is a tough pitch. It looks like a strike. You're trying to think, oh, I fouled 3 straight off. I can get to it. No, I hold up, and then you look down, and as you're looking down to that third base umpire on one of those close ones, you're just kind of holding your breath, going, wow, I didn't swing, I don't think. Well, you know what? Lance Barrett agreed. He didn't swing.
Cargo lined out to deep center his first time and then was called out on a pitch, quite frankly, that was well off the plate. But he has looked comfortable against Garrett Cole. He's looked comfortable against virtually everybody this year. 338 average to begin the night. 4 home runs, 12 driven in. 4-2 Pittsburgh. At third base, Bergman, Parras at second. And Adames, the trail runner. Just 1 out. And again, McCutchen plays a shallow center field. Cargo took a massive hack. It's 0-1. And Cole reached back and got 97 there. There's the alignment defensively.
Just a shade to the off gap.
Many times as you've been in this situation, if you're Carlos Gonzalez, you know, the adrenaline pumps a little bit more. Chased a little high there. And it's 0-2.
Right, tough pitch to handle up high at 96. First one was 97. They go back upstairs again. Yes, they do.
One and 2. Outside, 2-2. Cargo back in the count.
Yeah, you feel better about your at bat. 0-2 to 2-2.
Discussed this last night. The Rockies with ample opportunities last night, but just 1 for 12 with runners in scoring position.
Sometimes
they have the right guys coming up. Cargo right now and Nolan on deck.
Sometimes all it is a sac fly to the outfield. It's not the big blow. Those are great. Don't get me wrong, but it's just the productive ones, the productive at bats.
Here we go, 2-2. And it's full with nowhere to put Gonzalez. Three and 2 on Cargo. Bases full of Rockies here in the 5th. Pirates up 4-2.
That was a great pitcher's pitch and even a better spot to try to just foul it off on the Subaru strike zone. I mean, close enough where you can't take a chance and leave it in the umpire's hands, and not many guys can reach that pitch.
That was a great description. I don't know how he reached that. Cole wins the battle. 2 outs. And it'll be left to Arenado, who homered his last at bat against Cole.
Go back to the pitch by pitch to Cargo. First one, 97-mile-an-hour fastball, strike one. Again, followed it up 96, swinging strike. Ball inside 96. I mean, this was all power against power. Ball off the plate, 96 again, then the foul ball, and then loads up and strikes Cargo out. That was just, here's my power, see if you can hit it.
It was mano a mano. Nolan.
You can kind of see what, or how Garrett Cole feels in these situations when he needs something, he reaches back and gets a little extra.
Well, this is why in 2011 he was the first pick in the entire draft. He has a big, big arm. But Nolan got him last time. Got a slider and hit it to dead central. 8th home run of the year for Arenado.
That's why you kind of wonder, will he throw him a slider this at bat or just stick with the heat?
On the swing, it's 1-2.
Straight fastball, and Nolan was trying to get out of the way, but it was called on the swing.
Two and two. Two outs, the bases loaded for the Rockies in the 5th. Hard ground ball through the left side, base hit. Here comes the tying run, and Parra is out at the plate. Starling Marte, a Gold Glover last year, throws out Parra on a close play at the plate, denying the Rockies for now the equalizer. They're taking a look at it inside.
Starling Marte, strong arm. Looks like he might have got him right on the backside before the foot touches the plate. Hard to see from that angle.
It's hard to see on that angle if the toe touched it. Slow tag. He looks like he got him.
Might as well have a look at it.
They're taking a look at it.
Right. They'll have to slow down and go frame by frame. What happened though is you look when Parra is going into slide at home, how his foot catches just briefly.
Yeah, and it popped up as opposed to contacting the plate smoothly.
No, just watch his left foot right before the plate, right there. See how his ankle kind of buckles just for a second and it just doesn't slide through the slide. It is confirmed.
So the Rockies are within a run as Gerardo Parra is thrown out by the Gold Glover Starling Marte, who had 16 outfield assists last year that led the National League. Running with the pitch, obviously, to the plate, or running as soon as there's contact with 2 outs. And Parra runs well, but this is where this Pittsburgh Pirate defense in the outfield is so special, Jeff.
Because they're strong arms across the board. Their accuracy is also above average. And he needed both of those to be able to throw out Gerardo Parra at the plate.
First pitch wide of the strike zone to the 8-hole hitter, Gregory Polanco. A strikeout and an intentional walk. Bergman in relief of Jorge De La Rosa, who was done after 3 innings. Jorge was struggling again tonight, but we also learned that when he was running up the first baseline, trying to beat out a hard ground ball to the left side, he aggravated a groin injury, or this ball's lined to the corner and right. And Polanco will have a leadoff double. I don't want to say he aggravated an injury. I don't think he had it. He's had it in the past, but he obviously strained his groin and had to come out.
And maybe he had been dealing with it, just hadn't really said anything about it, because he just hasn't looked himself here in April in this first 3 or 4 starts.
Nope. Garrett Cole in a bunting situation. Good speed at second, and Polanco. Rockies down 4-0 now within a run, and Paulson's not going to be able to corral that.
Like where Ben is starting with this bunt play on how close he is already, and then he'll start creeping once Christian comes set. That's why you saw Garrett pull the bat back and say, well, if you're going to creep that hard, I'll swing away. But you still have to do it. You still have to come in, and you know, if he does lay down the bunt, at least have the option of going to third.
He pulled it back and he fouled it off.
I'll take that.
Another foul ball. Bergman dealt with a leadoff double in the 4th inning by Mercer and got McCutchen, Freese, and Marte to end the inning. He struck out the final 2. This is the 3rd inning of work for Bergman. Game 2 of a 4-game set between the Rockies and Pirates. Bergman right now really hunting that strikeout. So Polanco stays put at second. Temperatures dropped into the upper 30s.
Seems like the wind's picked up too.
That thermometer said 50 last summer.
On the big board, it says 38.
I trust the big board.
I do too. Hey, get the strikeout here, Christian. There we go.
Swung on and missed. There's the strikeout he needed. So that's out number 1 in the top of the 6th. And Jordy Mercer coming up. So we asked Fogger if he's a pitcher. Heck yeah, I pitch. And crank homers.
I told you he'd hit homers.
He's got to tweet with video next time. We have to see evidence. Gonzalez Germain is up in the Rockies pen. Mercer tonight. A double in the 4th against Bergman, 1 for 3. Career .478 hitter against the Rockies, 11 for 23. 1-0.
He's also hitting 8 out of his last 9 games. That's including tonight.
Good pitch. Well, Josh would know, pitching after running the bases in Colorado is always tough. We make mention of that frequently, and a lot of times managers would prefer, even though it sounds crazy, that they're, you know, they're not upset if the pitcher doesn't run into one and get a, you know, that rare base hit.
Well, and for Christian too, he was out there for a long time, because at first he had to leg it out to get to first, and then he's second, waiting around at third for a couple of batters.
It's almost like the swing, Jeff. We look at pitchers and we talk about their arm, but the delivery is built from the legs up.
It is, and that's why you always see them doing some distance running to try to build those legs up. But distance running and then running the bases, the anaerobic and aerobic exercises is completely different.
.41 pitches into this stint for Christian Bergman. He's 3-1 on Mercer with McCutchen on deck. I wonder if Germain is ready, if Wall will go in that direction, and that's ball 4. So first and second, and you have a guy coming up who is perennially one of the leading candidates to be the MVP in the league, and he already has 2 home runs tonight.
2 home runs were no doubters. The first one in the 1st inning for Andrew McCutchen after getting yesterday off. And then he follows it up in his 2nd at bat in the 2nd inning. At times he knew it. 4 on the season for Andrew. Tough guy to double up.
Fouled off. Well, did you know Andrew McCutchen is the 3rd player to have 10 multi-home run games while spending his entire career with the Pirates? The late great Willie Stargell and the late great Roberto Clemente, 36 and 13 respectively. McCutchen came into the game with a pair of home runs. This is how good he's been. He won the MVP in 2013. Last year he was 5th. 2 years ago he was 3rd, and 4 years ago he was 3rd. I mean,
that's
top 5 every year. Roberto Clemente, same kind of stuff. But we're talking about 4 straight years for McCutchen.
When you're on that list with the Clementes and Stargells, I mean, that's rare company.
And the other thing that Andrew battled some injuries last year, and he still finished in the top 5. Remember, he got off to the slow start last year also. McCutchen is much healthier this year than he was, said, at any point last year.
23 homers, 96 RBIs last year.
Oh man, this has hit a ton to right. Cargo is trying to use the deke, and it's gone. That's over the wall. 3-run home run. A 3-homer night for McCutchen. (7-3) Pittsburgh. What a night for Andrew McCutchen. Came into the game 3 for his previous 23.
This is kind of the trifecta of home runs, too. 1 to left field, 1 to center field, now this one to right field. Fastball away from Andrew. And that was a laser going out that way. Carlos tried to do the best he could to deke the runners. It shows you the strength of Andrew McCutchen.
It's not his first 3-homer game. He had one back in 2009 against the Nationals. Three homers, 5 RBIs for McCutchen. And the Rockies back on the wrong end by 4 runs. Two and two. Tough conditions to play in. And strike 3 on David Freese. Two outs, and that'll bring up Starling Marte. McCutchen becomes the 15th opponent to hit 3 home runs in a game against the Rockies. So the Rockies make a pitching change. We'll tell you about it when we come back. 7-3 Pittsburgh. McCutchen is 3rd of the game, and The Rockies had climbed within a run. Now they're down by a 4 spot again. 2 outs in the 6th inning. Starling Marte at the plate. Gonzalez Germain is on, and Germain has pitched well. He's being called to the big leagues this year.
Yeah, 2 innings yesterday for Gonzalez. Gave up a couple hits, 1 run, 2 strikeouts. Just 23 pitches thrown in those 2 innings.
2-0. Marte. He strutted around Coors Field like he owned the joint. 18 for 30 coming in, has 3 strikeouts tonight. He's got the hat trick. Germain will try to hand him the sombrero. And that's gone. That's 5 home runs tonight for a team that had 12 home runs on the season. 8-3 Pittsburgh. The 3rd home run for Marte. 5 home run night for Pittsburgh.
3 by Andrew McCutchen, 1 by David Freese, and now 1 by Starling Marte. And he knew it. Gerardo knew it in left field. Just how far would it travel?
Francisco Cervelli. Estimated distance on that home run by Marte, 443 feet. Some of the names on the list of guys that have hit 3 home runs in a game against the Rockies here. Barry Bonds, Sammy Sosa, both of those guys did it twice. Piazza going into the Hall of Fame this summer. Jonas Cespedes most recently last August. Carlos Beltran. Dustin Pedroia, remember that with Boston?
Yeah. If I remember correctly, right after that, Pedroia went on the DL with a bad foot. So there was some injury, right, Doug? I think it was this heel or arch.
1-2, ground ball deep in the hole, and Adames with a strong throw. That's a great play. It ends the inning. 2 home runs in the inning, a 3-run shot from McCutchen, a solo shot from Marte, and it's 8-3 Pittsburgh. Falls, Idaho. Thank you for watching the Rockies on Root Sports. Be sure to tell us where you're watching from this evening on Twitter at RootSports_RM. Drew Goodman, Jeff Houston, Mark Stout, Coors Field. Frigid night. Temperature at 38 degrees. The Rockies were down 4-0. They've climbed to within 4-3 last inning. And then Pittsburgh erupted again using the long ball. 3-run home run McCutchen, solo shot Marte. And just like that, it's a 5-run deficit the Rockies are looking at now as they come to bat in the bottom of the 6th inning. Ben Paulson, DJ LeMahieu, Brandon Barnes to face Garrett Cole.
And for Garrett, 5 innings, 7 hits, 3 runs, just 2 earned, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts, and 85 pitches. Last year for Garrett Cole, when he won those 19 games, that's the most wins that a Pirates pitcher has had since 1991 when John Smiley won 20.
1-0 to Paulson, 2-0. Garrett Cole, drafted #1 overall out of UCLA. Two and one. Paulson tonight singled and scored in the 2nd, caught looking in the 4th inning. First time in 2 years the Pirates have hit 5 home runs in a game. And another hit for Ben Paulson. Eric had a question of Josh Fogg. If your nickname was Dragon Slayer while pitching for the Rockies, what's your nickname in softball? Here's your answer. Bad Achilles. I blew one out playing
I don't mean to laugh so hard.
That's why I pitch.
So maybe I don't take him in the race against Cervelli?
Yeah, no.
Okay.
You got to take Cervelli. This is a hard hit ball, and Harrison couldn't get it out of his glove. He made a nice stop, and then he tried to go bowling to his partner, Jordy Mercer. So it's 1st and 2nd. I imagine they'll give DJ a hit on that.
Well, if he was bowling, that was a gutter ball.
It was a gutter ball.
It was hit hard. Josh Harrison goes down and gets it. And then on the flip, it came out before he was able to transfer it to his bare hand.
There's the bunt by Barnes. And the way they scored that actually was a fielder's choice E4. Fielder's choice E4.
Coors Field is available year-round for special events, and most areas of the ballpark can be reserved. Call 303 Rockies for more information and book your next event at Coors Field.
Tony Walters. Tony trying to snap an 0 for 16. Harrison bobbles and still gets the out. A run scores to make it 8-4. Second run tonight for Ben Paulson.
3rd RBI of the season for Tony.
Ryan Rayburn will pinch hit for Germain. Mayhew at third with 2 outs. Rayburn 0 for 3 last night before getting ejected. Called strike, 1-1.
Three for 8 with a home run, couple RBIs, pinch hitting for Ryan.
That's it. See one pattern whenever there's a sticky situation, Garrett Cole's going to throw the heater. And it's going to have a little more hair on it also.
Yeah, 95 to 97. See with the breakdown tonight, 82% of the time it's a fastball. The breaking pitch has been more of the slider, couple change-ups off speed, but you know, sometimes when it's cold like this and windy, it's tough to get the grip on anything off speed. So that's why he's gone to more fastballs tonight.
And it doesn't hurt when you have an outstanding one.
Yeah, that is true. But the
No swing, and that's ball 4. Two on for Parra. Once again, Ray Searage will check on Garrett Cole. Parra singled last inning and then was cut down on a great throw at the plate by Starling Marte. Bang bang play at the plate. That would have tied the game.
A play that had to go to review too.
Now it's 8-4. The day after every Rockies win, get 50% off your online order at Papa John's. Use the promo code ROCKSWIN at papajohns.com. Next pitch for Cole will be number 100.
That's why Ray went out there. 2 guys up in the bullpen for the Pirates.
DJ at third. Rayburn at first. Two strikes on Gerardo. So it remains a 2-strike count. Jorge De La Rosa started tonight, went 3 innings, gave up 4 runs on 5 hits. 3 of the 5 hits were home runs, 73 pitches, 3 walks, 5 strikeouts. And then he pulled a groin while running out a ground ball. Lobstein and Caminero warming in the bullpen. And that goes through for a moment. Here comes DJ. He's going to be out by a bunch. And DJ's pointing as if he got his foot in And the tag was, you know, it's weird. He just put the glove down right in front because he knew he was so early, Cole. And DJ may have moved the foot around the tag.
But they don't have the challenge left because they used it already. You're right, Cole put that down, and then DJ up the spike in, but there's nothing they can do because they lost the challenge with the other play at the plate.
That's why DJ was so animated. And the umpires, the other umpires, already sent the Pirates off the field saying that, as you just stated, the Rockies had used their challenge already. A rough break because the innings still be going on and it'd be an 8-5 game. Doesn't matter now. 8-4 Pittsburgh. Needed that to happen in the next inning when the umpires can call for a review. But the first 6 innings, you get 1 review, and the Rockies lost that. Scott Oberg, who gave up the home run yesterday, is now in the 7th inning. The Rockies trailing 8-4.
And that home run he gave up yesterday was on a 1-2 pitch to Matt Joyce.
This is what Scott Oberg would want more than anything, to get right back on the mound.
Sure.
It's the 1-0, and that misses 2-0. Well, Scott last year dealt with home run issues. 10 home runs, a little more than 58 innings last year. The stuff is good. It's a mid-90s fastball, sharp slider, and we saw him very good at times, but rather than giving up a line single, he gave up a lot that landed in the seats.
Yeah, his arm works as far as being able to throw hard, 95, 96 miles an hour, really good curveball, but it's the location of it.
2-2.
We saw that with Maeda the other day. You don't need to be overpowering. If you can pitch to your location and your spots, it'll play in any park.
And Oberg strikes out Rogers for the first out in the 7th inning.
You're planning an event, don't strike out. Hit a dinger, send an email to dinger@rockies.com to have Dinger at your next event.
Harrison 1 for 2 and a walk. Here's the 0-1 on Harrison. Rockies have compiled 10 strikeouts in the game. De La Rosa 5, Bergman 4. And that strikeout a moment ago. This is well hit right center field. Cargo will get there though. Two outs. Gregory Polanco coming up. Archimedes Caminero continues to throw, which means in all likelihood he'll be next on the hill. Garrett Cole over 100 pitches. Polanco a double and a run scored in the 6th inning, a 4-run 6th inning for the Pirates right after the Rockies had closed to 4-3.
Well, if you think Garrett Cole throws hard, wait until Archimedes comes in. Highest average velocity on his fastball, averages 98.3.
At least you know it's coming. 2-0. You know, we've seen 5 home runs tonight by the Pirates, a team that had only 12 coming in. The most home runs the Rockies have ever hit in a game, surprisingly, there's a strike, did not come at Coors Field or Old Mile High Stadium.
I did not know that.
It came at the ballpark you entered the big leagues in. At least your home ballpark.
Montreal.
The Rockies hit 7 home runs in a ball game in April of '97 in Stade Olympique. 2-2. The most home runs they've ever hit at home, 6. Last time 2013. Actually, let me correct that. Last time 2008. 2013 they hit 6 in a game on the road at Cincinnati. That's when Cargo hit 3. Left field, Parra waiting. And Scott Oberg works a 1-2-3 7th inning. So we'll get a pitching change for Pittsburgh when we come back. Stretch time at Coors Field, 8-4 Pirates. Pitching performance, starter comparison. Garrett Cole on the plus side, 6 innings, 4 runs, 2 earned, 8 hits. He struck out 3, walked 2. Jorge De La Rosa around for just 3 innings, gave up 4 runs on 5 hits, and then strained his groin running up the baseline. That's our Kubota pitching performance. Archimedes Caminero is now on the hill for Pittsburgh, the hard-throwing right-hander. And typical of the Pirates, late in the ball game, they insert Sean Rodriguez somewhere on the field. A lot of times it's first base. That's where he goes in now. So Rodriguez at first for Jason Rogers. And the first pitch to Parra, who resumes his at-bat. He was at the plate when the ball got past Cervelli, and then he was able to toss it to Cole, who did tag out DJ LeMahieu, but the Rockies couldn't challenge it. One challenge, one unsuccessful challenge in the first 6 innings.
For Archimedes, the pitcher recorded his first major league save in that 13-inning game down in Arizona.
(3-0) on Parra. Base hit for Parra's last time. He'll be taking, and that's ball 4. That's a good start for the Rockies.
That's right.
Christian Adames coming up. Christian's had a perfect night at the plate. Single, single, walk.
For Christian tonight, a couple base hits. How about the first inning off Garrett Cole? Soft fly ball to left field, drops in front of Marte, and a solid single to center field. Walk his last time. Perfect night on the bases for Christian.
Talking about Caminero getting a save the other day. AJ Schugel didn't realize it. AJ charting that he got a save last night, his first career save. And when the baseball was offered to him at first, he said, "Nah, no thank you." He said, "No, you got a save." And he said, "I did." He got a save because when he came in the 7th inning, he went 2 1/3. But when he came in, the tying run was in the on-deck circle. And so the final was a 5-run game. But because of that, he earned a save, his first career save, which for him is, I'm sure, extra special, having grown up in the area and attended Mountain Vista High School in Highlands Ranch.
Well, his last pro save was in high A ball for the Cedar Rapids Colonels back in 2011.
It's a while ago.
Yeah. Cedar Rapids in Iowa in the Midwest League.
Played in that league.
I did. It used to be the farm club for the Cincinnati Reds way back when. And I mean way back.
You were in Burlington, right?
Yeah, for the Burlington Bees. Burlington Expos.
That was a co-op team.
Yeah, with the Expos and the Royals.
It's bounce foul, 2-2.
And Jordan Serena, who is from Chaparral High School, went to Columbia. He's playing for the Angels club in Burlington this year.
That's pretty advanced for, it's his first full year, right?
First full year out, yes.
He had a great career at Columbia. Still playing in the middle, still in center field.
Playing some shortstop too.
Good looking athlete. 3-2 on Adames. Cargo on deck. He's top 5 favorite name in baseball right now. Archimedes Caminero. Parra takes off, ball 4. So Caminero has come in and walked the first 2 batters here in the 7th. That will not endear him to Clint Hurdle and Ray Searage. He's got to take a walk. How many pieces of gum has Clint Hurdle chewed in his life, in his baseball career?
Too many to count. In the trillions. Archimedes had 8 walks in 10 innings coming in, so it's not pinpoint control for him. Now Neftali Felice.
Another guy with a big arm.
He came up with the Rangers. That's where he made his name.
Who didn't you like facing? Hated facing Pujols. Get in line, Josh.
Jeff Jenkins.
Jeff Jenkins, sweet swinging left-handed hitter for the Milwaukee Brewers. Southern Cal product.
Didn't he also look like Brett Favre?
A little bit.
I think Jenkins and Favre would get mixed up.
Cargo with 2 on and nobody out. Cargo, a line out to deep center. Caught looking in the third on a pitch off the plate, and with the bases loaded, struck out on a 96-mile-an-hour fastball on a 3-2 pitch from Garrett Cole. Another opportunity for Cargo here to help get the Rockies back in it, down 8-4 in the 7th. 2 on, nobody out. Arenado on deck. And this ball in the air to shallow center. But McCutchen is there, 1 out.
Third baseman, number 48,
So Nolan will stride to the plate. 2 for 3, home run and an RBI single this evening. 8 home runs and 19 driven in for Nolan.
First, it was the home run on the slider from Garrett Cole in the 4th, and then it backs it up with an RBI single in the 5th. Unfortunately, Gerardo was thrown out for the tying run at that time.
That's a called strike on the inside corner. 0-1.
And with that base hit by Nolan, that's the lone time tonight that the Rockies have been successful with runners in scoring position. 1 for 6.
After 1 for 12 last night. Oh, 2. Short. And that was going to end the inning. A 6-4-3 double play. So the Rockies had a promising inning going. 2 walks to begin things. But then a fly ball and a 6-4-3, 8-4 Pittsburgh off to the 8th.
leading 8-4. Let's flash back to this day in history here at Coors Field, 1995, first game. A night like this, cold night, and Dante Bichette with one of the most famous home runs in franchise history as he christens Coors Field in the opener, beating the Mets with that home run in the 14th. Game time 10th that night was 42. It was 41 tonight. It's 38 now. That game got over at about 10:30 or so Mountain Time. So maybe the Rockies have it in them, guys, to continue this one a little bit longer.
Well, they've had base runners, Mark. They just haven't produced that big hit.
Slid the fist bump by Dante as he's walking down the line, looking at his teammates.
One of the great Rockies images here in the first nearly quarter century of Rockies baseball. Sean Rodriguez is behind 0-2. Came in at first base last inning. 9-1-2. Mercer's on deck. Rodriguez has already reached in half of his plate appearances this year. Not going to reach in this one. 3 pitches, he's gone.
Live Rockies baseball is back in 2016 with MLB.com at bat on your smartphone or tablet. Stay connected with live stats, news, and more.
Mercer 1 for 3 and a walk, doubled in the 4th inning, scored a run in the 6th. Came around on the Andrew McCutchen home run. McCutchen is on deck. He has 3 home runs tonight.
And even the other time he was out was that sharp 2 hopper to Nolan at third base.
Well, that was the best day off ever for him, huh?
Make your manager seem like a genius. Give him a day off. Sure, he comes back the next day, 3 home runs.
3-0 on Mercer. 3-1. Last guy in baseball to hit 4 homers in a game.
Mark Whitten.
Josh Hamilton, Texas, May of 2012. And a base hit for Mercer. Actually, a number of guys have done it since Whitten. I remember when.
Hard hitting Mark Whitten.
Yeah. Well, what a night for Andrew McCutchen in the 1st inning against De La Rosa. He hit that one close to 450 feet. And then the very next inning, he hit that one to dead center field. And then in the 6th inning, he went opposite field against Christian Bergman. Pirates have never had a guy hit 4 in a game. Willie Stargell 4 times hit 3. Ralph Kiner 4 times hit 3. And McCutchen and Clemente. And Carlos Delgado before Hamilton in 03. Mike Cameron in 02. Sean Green in 02. 4 home runs in a game.
Sean Green, was that with LA?
That was with the Dodgers. He was in Milwaukee. He was 6 for 6. He also had a double and a single. Pretty good month.
In a night.
And if my memory's accurate, I'm looking at Dougie right now. I think Green, didn't he homer the next day too? Two and 0 on McCutchen. Slowly hit to short. One play, and that's to first. Just got him.
Christian, when he's coming after this ball, it has side spin on it because it was hit off the end, and then he catches it and has to make sure that he has a grip and then fires it sidearm to nail.
He's had 3 very difficult chances tonight.
Yeah, this one coming in, he's had 2 on the backhand out on the grass.
I was
and
wrong.
That short hop earlier on the line drive.
I was right and wrong about Sean Green. He has a major league record. He hit 4 that one day. Look at this again. Yeah, he hit 1 the next day, and then the following day he hit 2 more. He hit 7 in 3 days, which is the major league record. This ball to deep center field. Barnes going back, and a good route. Brandon Barnes tracks down the drive by David Freese. So Mercer's left aboard. 8-4 as we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Paulson will be first for the Rockies. Colorado Rockies baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. By American Family Insurance, insure carefully, dream fearlessly. And by Volkswagen. Rockies find themselves trailing in Lodo 8-4. They've lost 3 straight. 6 outs left on offense. Ben Paulson, DJ LeMahieu, Brandon Barnes in the 8th inning. Neftali Feliz at the Pittsburgh Pirates. And he's been good so far. 14 strikeouts, just 2 walks, Huey.
And a whip of .86, signed as a free agent by the Pirates on January 6th. For Neftali, can still throw the fastball 94 to 96 miles an hour, hard slider and a changeup.
Outside on Paulson. Ben's had another productive game.
Well, Ben started
2 for 3, couple runs.
Yeah, he started the season 2 for 11. Since then, 12 for his last 31, 387.
Last year, Feliz started the year with Texas. and then moved on to Detroit. He was designated for assignment on the 4th of July, signed with Detroit, had a 7+ ERA the rest of the way with Detroit. Mercer has it, 1 out.
Well, he's part of that big trade from Atlanta to Texas, along with Elvis Andrus, Matt Harrison, Jared Saltalamacchia, for Mark Teixeira and Ron Mayhay.
And he had some really good years in Texas. He had a 40 save year in 2010, 32 saves in 2011. And that's foul. He's still only 27.
It's one of those names that you've heard about forever. Rookie of the Year in 2010 for the American League. All-Star that year.
Been really good in his postseason career. A 1.93 ERA, 7 saves, 7 out of 8 in the postseason. With the Rangers in 2010, 2011, 1-2 on DJ. Still plenty of life in the arm. Lifted to right, near the stands and out of play. Rockies have Carlos Estevez in their bullpen. He'll be next. We wished Darren Holmes happy birthday yesterday.
Well, I know they did on the pregame show, but I don't think we did in our broadcast.
Big 5-0 yesterday.
5-0.
Welcome to the club.
I was going to say the same thing. Now he's 50 years and 1 day old.
You're a charter member.
Okay, just stop. You're caught up with me.
Okay.
Yeah. Don't act like you're that much younger.
2-2 on DJ. Temperature holding steady at 38. I have to be honest. In all the years up here, the greatest addition, we've had some fancy new equipment, new telestrators, Subaru Supermo, but the greatest addition has been this little space heater.
It's come in handy.
Dougie, was this your create with Sam Herniason? Finally, Sam contributing something to the team. We appreciate that, Sam. Look out.
That's that Barnesy.
Just standing here minding my business. Good at bat for LeMahieu.
5 or 6.
Number 11 coming up.
Straight foul balls.
How many?
That's 7 straight foul balls.
Fans love him now. Love him anyhow, but he's handing out souvenirs right and left.
Stick around. That's what you get.
Three and 2. Pirates up 8-4. 8th inning. 1 out. Barnes on deck. Rockies trying to battle their way back in it. On a snap a 3-game losing streak. Pirates have won 6 straight here at Coors Field. And that is a superb at bat.
Superb because after you've swung at 7 in a row and you fouled them off, you're in swing mode. It's hard to not swing in the next pitch that's thrown in there. But for DJ, he held up twice. He didn't swing at the last 2 pitches.
Josh Fogg. Nathan wants to know who's the best clubhouse leader / teammate you ever played with. Loved playing with Brian Fuentes, most unselfish teammate ever. And he was hilarious. He remains hilarious. Tito's been at fantasy camp the last couple of years. Living out in his native California. He had a great career. I told him this year, I said, I don't know if I ever told you this story. Barnes fouls it off, 0-2. When he was called to the big leagues with the Rockies for the first time, he'd originally come from Seattle. I saw him standing on the, on the plane, and he was the most frightened young player I'd ever seen. It was like palpable. I mean, his eyes were like bugging out of his head, and he just looked, honestly, he just looked scared to death. And you're thinking to yourself, oh, I wonder how this is going to work out. And it turned out really, really well for Brian Fuentes. Went on to close a ton of games, not only for the Rockies, but for the A's as well. You got a kick out of that story.
And that's what's fun about fantasy camp, too, just to be able to see these guys in a different environment, joke around, and listen to the stories being told.
Yeah. That may, I think, for all the campers, that's the best parts of fantasy camp, without question. Barnes goes down. Tony Walters coming up. 2 outs.
And Tony Watson up in the bullpen for Pittsburgh. Their late inning left-handed guy.
One 1-0 on Walters. Fly ball to left. Tried to bunt his way on. Had an RBI ground out in the 6th. This ball's driven to deep center field, but McCutcheon is there, allowed out. Tony Walters, the final out of the 8th inning. We'll go to the 9th. It remains 8-4 Pittsburgh.
8-4 over the Rockies. We're getting ready for the Toyota post-game show out in a very chilly center field. Jenny Kavner with Corey Sullivan and Ryan Spilborghs. Coming up, we will get you an update on Jorge De La Rosa. Looks like he left this game with a groin issue.
I'm going to talk about Garrett Cole, and we're going to break down what makes him so successful at Coors Field.
Andrew McCutcheon had a big night. Entered the game 3 for 26 with 11 punch-outs in his last 6 games, but he had a big one tonight.
Hey, are you guys cold?
A little bit.
Yeah, you know, they have a heater in the booth.
Wow.
That's our heater.
That's interesting, because I ordered that heater through our office manager, so you guys are welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, Jenny, but you've spent the last 8.5 innings inside, noshing away in the press box, so we don't feel sorry for you. By the way,
did you say spread tonight? It was a good spread tonight. Really good spread.
By the way, Spilly gets our tough guy award. No batting gloves. Sully,
right, no BGs.
A little soft tonight.
No BGs.
No,
a little soft.
See, I don't think that. I'm with Sully. If I was out there and I have gloves on, that's silly.
You're the first to crack.
I have prepared mine.
I'm unprepared is what you're saying.
Yeah, exactly.
I bet you Huey has his long johns on right now in the booth.
That's so 1980s. It's called Under Armour now.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Sorry.
Hey, hold on. I want to show you guys what you're missing.
Oh, that's just mean.
That's just mean.
I'm done.
Yeah, no more. I'm not going to bring you any nosh tomorrow.
Dougie, can you bring the suntan oil? Starling Marte, ground ball to short. Adames has been busy tonight. 1 pitch, 1 out from Carlos Estevez.
What a debut for Estevez a couple days ago. First batter he faced. I'll just strike out Yasiel Puig. Pretty nice little welcome to the big leagues guy that you have to face.
Nice big league debut.
Yeah, 2 innings, 2 strikeouts, 28 pitches for Carlos. I just like, you know, we're kind of reminiscing. Then the next day they were talking, asked him, what did it feel like when he was going out there? He goes, when I was running out from the bullpen, all I could think about was my time in Grand Junction and A-ball and Modesto, working my way up. And all those thoughts came flooding back into my brain, and what a neat memory to have for him.
Well, we were describing him the other day. He's a very personable young man, and Rockies are excited about his future. Cervelli tonight, 1 for 3 and a walk. There's the 1-0 delivery. Fastball in there for a strike. Two balls and a strike. Yeah, Charlie Blackmon played tonight for Modesto. He's going to play again tomorrow on a rehab assignment. Get some at-bats and then work out a little bit more at Salt River Fields on Thursday and join the Rockies if everything goes well on Friday as the Rockies open up a long road trip out west. That's a base hit through the middle. Hey, big thanks to the Dragon Slayer tonight, Josh Fogg, for joining us. Back home in FLA, it's getting close to midnight. So Fogger, thanks. We'll have to do it again. Fogger, a big shout out to everybody. Thanks to all the Rockies fans for hanging out with me in Twitterland. Let's go Rocks.
Great guy.
He's a tremendous guy, and he had a terrific career. And I always felt he was one of the more interesting stories in that he was a closer at Florida and became a starting pitcher in the big leagues. It usually would work the other way if it's going to happen, right?
Yeah, where you'd be the starter in college, maybe a Friday night guy or Saturday night guy.
You know who's a little like that is Chad Bettis, because Chad Bettis did some closing for the Red Raiders, Texas Tech. We got to wish Chad a happy birthday.
Still impressed by the start Chad had last night. I know he took the loss, but going out there and pitching like he did, 117 pitches.
He got painted up a little bit.
A couple runs at the end.
No, Bettis, that was a winning effort without question.
Take it every day he goes out there. Every time he goes out there, I take that effort.
Chad, 27 today. One and two on the pinch hitter, Matt Joyce. Good block by Walters. Three and two, close, just missed. Joyce hit a 3-run home run yesterday off Scott Oberg. Opposite field. Put it out to left center.
It's different for Joyce this year. Last year hit 174 for the Angels.
That's ball 4, and that'll push Cervelli to second. Josh Harrison up. These Pirates have been hot with the bat over their last 8 games coming in, hitting .306. They have 11 hits tonight. They've hit a double in their first 21 games of the year. That's the 3rd longest streak in Pirate history.
You mentioned it earlier. They came in with the highest average and highest on-base percentage in the major leagues. Their average was 292 coming in.
Yeah, and it's not even close. They're 14 points better than the Cardinals with the 2nd highest average. The Rockies are down at 7th at 266.
And the on-base percentage was 378.
We give you the major league totals, that graphic, the National League leaders. So also during the last 8, it's not just the inflated batting average and all the doubles, but they're averaging 6.6 runs a game. And, you know, tonight they're better than that. They have 8. They have the most hits in the big leagues with 217. Hadn't been hitting many home runs, though, till tonight.
They don't strike out a lot. And they came in with the 4th fewest strikeouts.
I don't know how it'll play out all year. The contrast for the Pirates thus far this year is they've been a big offensive team. And pitching-wise, they've been so-so at best. And last year, they were terrific on the hill. This ball's well hit right field. Cargo going back. And he'll reach up and get there. And then fire it in. Moving from 2nd to 3rd is Cervelli. 2 outs. Good running catch by Carlos. That's not easy. On a cold night, 38 degrees, you're standing out there, you're trying to stay warm, you're blowing on your hands, and all of a sudden you have to turn it into a full sprint. And you worry about you worry about pulling muscles.
Right, explosive movement. And Carlos takes off, takes the correct angle too. I like the way he's running with his glove down to his side and then puts it up at the last moment on the Subaru Supermo. So many times you see young kids when they're running after a fly ball, they have their glove up as they're running. Well, it's faster when you have it down to your side and then reach up.
You know the old read drill where it's almost like a football drill where players standing facing you about 10 yards in front of you and you point direction, you throw a fly ball and they got to, you know, just run to it, make a catch. And it's how you teach, as you know, Huey, how you teach young players to go back and run to a spot. The Pirates were doing that, or excuse me, the Dodgers on Sunday were doing that in pregame, and they didn't hit on the field. And I don't know if I'd ever seen a big league team doing drills like that with their outfielders in the middle of the season.
You don't see that. You'll see it during spring training, but not during the season. The other thing I saw during that was also Jock Peterson playing Pepper.
Yeah. Well, Peterson was one of the guys that was involved in the ball tracking drill, drop step and go get the baseball.
Well, the Rockies had planned on doing some of those defensive work today with the pitchers and the outfielders and the infielders. Yet with the rain, they had to cancel that.
1-1 on Polanco. Hard hit ball. DJ can't get it. Cervelli will score. And it's an RBI single for Polanco. He's got 12 RBIs. Make it 9-4 Pittsburgh.
Just a hard hit, one hopper. DJ lays out for this. Came within a foot or so of being able to catch it.
So the first run given up in Estevez's career. This is the second at bat for Sean Rodriguez. Struck out on 3 pitches last inning. He's driven in a run in 4 straight that he's played it. Didn't play yesterday. He came into the ball game, Huey, the team leader in home runs with 3.
Well, that's no longer the case with Andrew McCutchen tonight.
Andrew has hit 3 himself tonight.
Give him 5 on the season.
Sean Rodriguez also celebrating a birthday today.
31 years.
His main job last year was to come in the 7th inning on the plus side for Pittsburgh for Pedro Alvarez at first.
That was after they moved Pedro from 3rd to 1st because he was making too many errors over there.
Good slider. Two and two. During the Pirates' 6-game winning streak at Coors Field, they've averaged almost 8 runs a game. They're hitting .355. That average will maintain with the 12 hits tonight. Fans must have read the game notes also. That's strike 3. Estevez freezes Rodriguez in the inning. There were 2 hits and a walk. Another run for the Pirates. We'll go to the bottom of the 9th inning. Pittsburgh 9, Colorado 4. Pirates up 9-4 on the Rockies. As we go to the bottom of the 9th inning, we check our CenturyLink What's Next pitching matchup tomorrow. It'll be start number 2 for John Gray. And Jonathan Neese, the former Met left-hander, will go for Pittsburgh. That's tomorrow. We're on the air with the pregame show beginning at 6 p.m. right here on Root Sports. Rob Scahill, the former Rocky, gave up a run on a couple of hits yesterday in 2/3 of an inning. Also walked a batter. He's been summoned from the Pirate bullpen to handle the 9th inning. Mark Reynolds is going to pinch hit. It's 9-1-2. Parra and Adames to follow.
Rob started the year down in Indianapolis, was recalled on the 13th of April. Excuse me, the 14th of April. Missed it by a day.
6 lashes.
Well, I was just looking at the wrong note because A.J. Schugel was recalled the day before.
1-0 on Reynolds. Pirates shift with Reynolds, as do many teams. Rockies 3rd in defensive shifts this year, 3rd most defensive shifts. They shift about 32% of the time. One of 6 teams in the big leagues that shift at least a quarter of the time. Houston shifts more than anybody, 41%. Milwaukee around 39%.
Houston's been the leader the last couple of years. They've been doing it for a few years now. Nice start.
Rob walked a guy yesterday, gave up a couple of hits, and Cervelli immediately is going to go out and put his arm around him. Probably tell him everything he already knows. Just relax, got a big lead, throw strikes, make him hit it. Sometimes you know that, but it's hard to execute. Who Wants Tacos? Fans follow at @Rootsports_RM on Twitter to receive alerts for the Rockies Taco Special when the Rockies score 7 or more in a ball game. So Reynolds at first, Gerardo Parra 1 for 3 in a walk.
Well, because of that walk by Rob, now they have to go to their, get Mark Melanson up in the bullpen.
And he was up last inning. I think Clint, if it was a 4-run game, a lot of managers are this way. Clint has a ton of experience, obviously managing here. That they look at a 4-run game here as almost a save situation.
Yeah, they don't worry about that save mark. Where it's
not, won't be designated to save, but in their mind, they want their number 1 guy out there.
But when they tacked on the extra run last inning, then no, I'll go to Rob.
And Rodriguez gets 1 on the first double play. Good cover by Scahill. So it's a 3-6-1 double play, and that'll bring up Adames.
Pretty quick release too from Sean Rodriguez to give Jordy Mercer a good feed.
Christian Adames, single, walk. Christian getting his first start this year at shortstop. First game that Trevor Story has not started. And that's on the ground to second. Harrison has it. And the Pirates have won the first 2 of this series. They've won 7 straight at Coors Field against the Rockies. And the Rockies' losing streak is now at 4 games. Andrew McCutchen, what a ball game. 3 home runs for the 2nd time in his career. And he drove in 5. Our Jimmy John's delivery of the game, it features the great Andrew McCutchen, the former MVP in the National League. He hit a home run in the first. He hit a home run in the second. This one to center field. And then he went to right field later on in the ball game with 2 men aboard. Came into the ball game slumping, 3 for 23 with 11 strikeouts over his previous 6 ball games, but he got healthy tonight against the Rockies. Once again, the final score, the Pirates 9 and the Rockies 4. Cole gets the victories 2-2. De La Rosa takes the loss. He's 1-3. To center field we go. Here's Jenny.
All right, Drew, thanks so much. 5 home runs in all for the Pittsburgh Pirates as they beat the Rockies tonight for the 7th straight time at Coors Field. We'll get you an update on Jorge De La Rosa next.